we've been fed this line before, people. I'll have you know. Oh, we always knew what we were going to do. And, well, we've got the ending already written. It's magical. You're going to love it.
It's backstage.
It is. Sorry, Ken.
Was there really, at the outset, in the first season, when these Fringe events were happening, was there really a plan? Did you know where you were going from the outset?
I can tell you with utter sincerity that we knew before we started to write the second episode. I was not, none of us were involved in the pilot. They were. I can tell you with utter sincerity before we started to write the second episode that we knew that Walter had stolen Keter from another universe. We knew that the doppelgangers existed. We didn't know all the ins and outs and all the details. We knew that it happened at Raiden Lake. We started to write towards things very early on, and there was a high degree of frustration. There was a high degree of audience frustration. Why is Olivia such an unsettled character? And it was because she was unsettled in her role. We knew that we were telling a long ball story, and that hopefully the audience would, invest and go along for the ride. And thank God you have. We do have a plan.
Yeah. I mean, we enjoy that kind of stuff, like going back and, when everybody saw Amber on the bus in season 1, it's completely recontextualized now. So now everybody knows what Amber is, but as part of the pattern, people didn't really comprehend, and you weren't supposed to comprehend. But there's a lot of things coming up and things that we've done in the past as well that, that put things in a new light. Oh, wow, I didn't know. Like Olivia, the Olivia accelerated pregnancy. That was episode 2. Of the series, when that technology was sort of, they were growing soldiers like tomatoes. That was the storyline, and so we always try and go back and reinvent things to keep people going. I see.
Speaking to the "we trust you," we have said amongst ourselves that we have this incredible latitude because we know there's a feeling you get when you watch a show, and we're all fans of television. There's a feeling you get when you know that the people who are providing the entertainment know what they're doing. There's just a high degree of comfort. And you also know there are those programs that some very successfully are making it up as they go along. And you can feel that. Subconsciously, you can feel that. And there are absolutely things and discoveries that we're making up as we go along. But the big ones, the tent poles, we know them.
You've got a safety net of that mythology.
We don't start the season unless we know exactly where we're going. And because why get into your car in the garage unless you know where you're going? You have to know where you're going in order to do things like thematic things that we like to do. To try and tie themes together and to sort of, examine different themes. We have to know what those themes are in order to just tell metaphor about them.
Wait till you hear the characters you have to pull
up.
Oh,
next
Jeff makes a really good point for writers in the room, which is people sense architecture. They don't have to understand it to know whether or not it's there.
Right.
And if it's not there, people are disappointed. They do not feel safe. Storytelling was once sort of taught to me as, it's how somebody moves you with their hand. And that's what a story is. And you can really feel whether the hands are sound. You can feel whether there's story structure and architecture and thoughtfulness underneath. And it doesn't mean you have to explain it. It doesn't mean that it has to all come out. It doesn't mean that anybody ever has to know it to know the story, but it has to be present. And you can really feel the difference between stories that have structure underneath them and stories that don't. So I think that's really just in the 3.5 people who are writing screenplays. That's probably important.